Hello, my friends. Today I want to talk about the limits that you place on you. You know, between the ages of 0 and 5, we learn a ton of things. We learn monumental things between birth and 5 years old. We learn how to walk, we learn how to talk, we learn how to feed ourselves, to run, to jump, to read, to sing. Something I had never thought about before, we actually learn a new language between the ages of birth and 5 years old. Yes, a new language. We come into this world speaking baby babble, but by the time we're 5, we have learned a language. But what if we had continued that growth rate, that growth right on through 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years old? What if we had continued to grow at that same rate? Where would we be? What could we accomplish? And why do we stop? Why do we stop learning? Perhaps it's about our parents. You know, they don't push us as hard as a baby. They want us to walk. They want us to talk. They're trying to teach us to read. Does it slow down once we go past that 5, 6, 7 years old? I believe it does. But now we are responsible adults. We can make a decision that we're going to continue to grow, continue to develop. There's some research that I came across the other day that just really blew my mind. Pew Research said that 33% of high school graduates never read another book. Can you imagine that? 33% never read another book beyond high school. That just blew me away. Another stat, 92% of college graduates read one book over the last year, but only 32% of non-high school graduates read one book. What would happen? I mean, don't mean to be discriminating here, but only 32% of non-high school graduates. What if those non-high school graduates actually picked up a book, 2 books, 3 books? Could it change their life? There's a reason why the 92% of college graduates read that one book. They are progressing. The fact that they're college graduates is making a difference in their lives because they choose to educate themselves. They choose to keep moving forward. Self-development. It's so important. How could that change your life if you doubled up, if you increased your absorption of knowledge? One of the things, a couple books that I wanted to share with you, some books that actually changed my life, that I think if you actually pick it up and read it, it's going to make a difference. The first book is Developing the Leaders Around You by John Maxwell. I love John Maxwell when it comes to leadership. So, the skills that I picked up from this guy is just awesome. If you're in the work environment, you're an employee, or if you're a business owner, developing the skills or developing the leaders around you. Awesome book, awesome material. Another book that made a difference, and all these books I probably 15, 20 years ago, but they're still sitting on my shelf. Every once in a while I pick them up to hone some skills. They're just great stuff. These were books that really changed my life. This book here, I'm sure you've heard of it. It's Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Awesome book. Changes the mindset. If you need a boost when it comes to how you think, if you're kind of, down and out and don't know what to do next, pick up this book, Think and Grow Rich. Another book, probably one of the most important, it's at the top of the list. If I could only take 2 books, if I could only read 2 books, this would be one of them. This is Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. Awesome book. You're talking about learning how to manage money. Let me give you an example of how knowledge can change your life. Do you realize that $100,000 made by a business owner can take you much farther than $125,000 made as an employee? It's just about how you make the money, where it goes. With self-employment or business ownership, there are some things that you get to spend money on before it's taxed. And I learned this from this book here, Cash Flow Quadrant. He actually has a whole series of books, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, real estate investing, and I read them all and it changed my life. When I read this series, I went from owning only about $100,000 worth of real estate to owning over $5 million worth of real estate within a 3-year period because of what I learned in his series of books. Awesome book. And my last and final book that I recommend is this book entitled The Next Right Move, where I'm actually the author of it. So, you know, this is a lot of good material. Almost everything that I've picked up over the years is in this book here. And in the rear of this book is actually a list of books that I recommend. I think there's probably 10 or 15 books that's listed in the rear of this one that I recommend. So I hope this has helped you. Hope you like this material. Please like and subscribe. Be blessed.